What's going on, guys? If anybody's re-watching this, I'm just going to be doing, I've been doing AMAs on Twitter, and I figured I might as well put it on YouTube today. I'll also be able to respond to the YouTube and the Twitter, but I'll soon be switching over to the Twitter side of things, so the audio will be coming from a different output. Just doing a space on control token. If you guys haven't seen this project I've made, then you can check it out. Definitely let people know about it, and if you like the project, then if you feel like it's a good project, then you should try to get other people in on it too. You know what I mean? You don't want them saying, hey, why didn't you tell me about this? And so I think that we're taking a much different approach with control token, which is a good thing, because most of what's going on in the space is not good. There's a lot of bad things about it, from just kind of the general. There's so many bad actors, and the bad actors stop projects from being able to do well. Like, projects will be able to grow in price and holders in the utilities and visions that they're actually trying to do. All of that's just being abused and manipulated to just benefit the bad actors of the space. So the bad actors of the space are taking advantage of the good actors of the space. And so control token really is all about fixing what, at the core, what is wrong with the crypto space. And so I'm just talking to the YouTube side of things, and then as soon as I'm about to start the space, and I'll be going into explaining something new about control token. I have a lot of videos going over control token and going over explaining the idea in different ways over and over again. So I have a lot of content out already about control token and how different it is. But I keep realizing new things about it, and I keep thinking about the impact, because like everybody who is building a project on a taxless token is doing so on a liquidity pool, and the liquidity pool gives all the control, all the power to the people at the top, and it rewards them, incentivizes them for destroying the project. Like, when you sell on a project, there's no reason for you to not sell unless you're hoping that the project goes higher. And once people sell, it usually kills the momentum of that project, and people move on to another one. That's why people just keep making new projects, because when your chart's down, it's very hard to create a narrative that causes that chart to go up. So control token is about addressing the problems that prevent projects from growing. That's very simple. It's not complex. It's not hard to understand. First, you remove all the bad actors, the pump and dumpers, the rugging, the giving of tokens, access to liquidity. Then after you've gotten rid of all those hurdles, all those things that prevent projects from being able to grow, then you add an extra component of when are we launching? What's up, Micah? Not sure. It's literally, hopefully within the month. It's just literally once the website's done, going to pay for an audit. The audit will go really fast, and then we'll set a date to launch. I know that's what everybody wants to know, but I'm just waiting for the website to be done, and it has to be done right. And so we're starting the project off with waiting for dev work, but it's better to wait for dev work before launch than after. So, but yeah, the entire point of a control token, well, there's so many good things about control token. I've talked about it. There's so many different ways to say it. What if everybody paid a tax to keep the project alive? I feel like that's a great way to start a conversation with somebody if you're trying to tell them about control token. Like, what if everybody paid a tax on buys and sells to keep the project alive? Another thing I haven't talked about, which people don't quite realize when it comes to buy and sell taxes, is everybody pays the buy tax, but only certain people pay the sell tax. The people who pay the sell tax are usually the people who are taking all the value out of the liquidity. You want to tax that and then give that back to the holders who stay in the project. Hey, you can still make a lot of great profits if you want. That's fine. but we don't want you taking the project with you, and we want to keep the project alive. So we're going to be taking a percentage of what you would have gotten on your sell, and that's going to go right back into the hands of the holders. That way, everybody who leaves the project isn't just taking all that value with them, they're actually leaving the tax behind it they paid on the way out and all the rewards that they would have gotten. And so they leave a lot of value behind, and that changes the story, the narrative, to something a little more permanent. That's not, and there's a lot of aspects and components to control token that are mind-blowing in my opinion, because it's all about narrative. But if the narrative is attached to the liquidity pool, then the narrative can drastically go up and drastically go down. And if it follows the typical pattern of a project, at some point a sell-off happens, the narrative drastically goes down, and it's very hard for that narrative to go back up. But with control token, we have two narratives going. We do have the liquidity pool, but we also have these permanent rewards, these permanent value in the future. And so we have a permanent narrative that can't go down, that can only go up. And so that's really awesome to have something like that. So I'm going to go ahead and start this space, and then we will I'm going to shift the audio over to the Twitter. So I'm doing that now. The audio might change, but I'm going to turn it up to try to make sure it's loud for you to hear. Twitter audio is always like super quiet. Hey, what's going on, Tommy? Good to have you, man. Thanks for showing up. What's up? Crypto Katahula. Drop you a follow. Thanks for stopping by. I'm gonna try to keep it short and sweet today to be a little quicker to the point. And okay, there we go. We got the YouTube going, got the Twitter going. Could probably go ahead and start. I'll just start with the quick updates that anybody who's following Control wants to know about is when are we launching, and it just purely comes down to dev work. As soon as they're done with the website, he might hit me up today. He might hit me up in a week and be like, hey, we're done. We'll go over it. We'll make sure everything's working. We're going to have a calculator. You can put the amount of tokens that you have or any amount of tokens into the calculator, and you'll be able to gauge and see how much rewards you'd be getting on the monthly, the 6-month, and the 12-month. Obviously, getting started, there's not going to be any rewards. Well, technically, there is rewards that are coming out of the pre-sale. But outside of that, there won't be any rewards until we start getting volume, which hopefully as we get closer to launch, more interest, more hype starts to grow, and we're actually able to get, a little more hype going. Sorry, I need to do one more thing. Hey, what's up, Jesus Cabara? So yeah, keeping it short and sweet today. That way people can go back and listen to it because I can rant for hours about control tokens. So main point of the website, the entire point of control token is that people understand that value is being shifted from the liquidity pool into the future, into the hands of the holders. We're shifting value, but from everybody who buys and from everybody who sells into the hands of the holders who stay in certain time periods, every month, every 6 months, and every 12 months. And so it's in a bigger and bigger sense. Thing is if you go look at the price on a project, it's not going to show you those rewards, right? So somebody might be like, control token, this is what the price looks like. It's like, well, you're missing part of the story. So it's super important that on the website, people can see the rewards and they can put in an amount of tokens, and they'd be able to have us, pull up a separate window, look at the charts and go, oh, okay, here's what the price is at. And for this much price, say for $100 or $1,000, I could get this many tokens. And if I get this many tokens, this is how much of those rewards I'm going to get. That's the idea, is people need to understand the value that's in the future. They also need to understand that that value can't go down, and that the because it's an appreciating stablecoin, the value of it can only go up, and the amount of it can only go up. The amount of stablecoin in the future can't go down until it's distributed. It can only go up as buys and sells happen, and the value of those amount that can only go up because it's a utility appreciating stablecoin. So that's really awesome. So really important, because this is all about narrative. It's all about psychology. It's all about understanding that the people who are learning about control token are basically doing through word of mouth or through hearing about it. And the first thing they see when they go to the website is the rewards, and they see the countdown to the control event. You understand that one of the biggest parts about control token is the control event, is this massive distribution, what's supposed to be a massive distribution of rewards. And when you understand how that happens, then you understand that rewards happen every month, every 6 months, every 12 months. Well, it's only 1 month rewards at a time for 5 months, but when you get to the 6th month, when we all get to the 6th month, the 6-month rewards that built up for 6 months and the 6-month reward happen at the same time. And so that's the first time that the reward events will happen at the same time. And so you'll just kind of have teasers up into the first, 6-month rewards. And then when the control event happens, it'll be the second 6 months of the year from when we start, plus the last month, plus the whole 12 months. And here's the thing, is the biggest portions of the tax goes towards the 12-month rewards. So no matter what we get, if we get, I don't even know, just throwing out a number, $1 million in rewards, and that's divided between the month, the 6-month, and the 12-month. No matter what we get, the 6-month and the 12-month will always be bigger than the volume that you had for that month. Even if no more volume ever comes in, the 6-month and the 12-month will always be bigger, because that's how it's divided. And so pretty much as soon as the website's done, it'll come down to just doing launch. And once we do launch, then we'll be able to move forward with the project as a community to help it grow. And really all we're waiting on is the website to be done. It needs to look good. It needs to feel good. It needs to have music. It's going to have my videos on there explaining it so people can watch multiple videos that break down. It needs to have, the graphics that explain everything very simply. We're going to redo the white paper. We do have a white paper right now, but it needs to be like perfect. It needs to be redone in a way that's like putting all the ideas in order in the right way, because there's so many ways to explain control token. And I'm working on a video right now. It's only a 3-minute video, but it's basically about like, why is the name Control? And part of that is that my name is Crypto Control, and so it's after me, so that the people who know me know, oh yeah, he made his token and it's called Control. And the ticker is going to be CTRL, just like on your keyboard when you hit Control. So that's pretty cool. But the entire idea of DeFi and of these videos that I'm making is taking control back and giving it to the people. Like this is the most important part of any structure, whether it's a government and the government gets all the power and control, but the only reason they're powerful is because all of us are paying taxes to them. We are where the power is at. And so DeFi and Bitcoin was supposed to be taking away from the middleman and creating a new structure that isn't controlled, and giving it back to the people. But DeFi has become a ton of scammers creating pyramid schemes where they have the control, where they're at the top and they're taking advantage of the people that are buying into their narratives or into their projects, where they can access the liquidity, rug it, honeypot it, have tons of wallets that aren't labeled that make it look like fake holders, or are using sniper and bots. And so what's preventing projects from doing well, which is what everybody's seeking, is the bad actors, and the bad actors are abusing their power and their control at the top to prevent that from happening. And so I think if you're trying to make a project that does well, you have to address that problem. And so you just remove all the bad actors. That's really not hard to remove the bad actors. Not only have we removed, the taking of the liquidity, the scamming, and the lying. I think if you followed me for a while, I just don't lie to people. But we also have removed the sniper bots. Now they still could try to snipe and take a certain amount of supply and dump it, but we have a tax. We have a pretty heavy tax. 15% buy, 20% sell. That really wards off a lot of bad actors. A lot of people who are looking to quick pump and dump. It's like, yeah, we don't want you here anyways. We're looking for long-term growth. We want this thing to actually grow. And so we ward off those people that are using bots too. Now they still could, but even if they did, they'd be paying a buy tax, they'd be paying a sell tax, and they'd be forfeiting all their rewards. That's the entire point of this, is to counter the negative effects of sells and to create a project that actually allows for growth and a project that distributes that wealth more fairly. I don't think that there is a more honest or better project when it comes to designing something that grows and distributing that wealth in a way that is more fair. I'm sure anybody who's been following me for a little bit of time, you realize that the liquidity pool is a game that rewards those who put the biggest red candles on it the most. Whoever does the most damage to the project by putting the biggest red candles or the most amount of red candles on a chart, they are rewarded the most. That's the game. You win. There is no advantage to holding while other people are selling. Your goal is to sell before them as high as you can on as many people after you. And so that is the game of the liquidity pool. And so what if instead of rewarding the people who destroy the project, we reward the people who keep the project alive, those who buy and hold tokens, whether you buy them when they're cheap in the beginning or whether if the price goes up, you buy a bunch later on, you're holding a large amount of tokens. You should be rewarded for that. We shouldn't be punishing you for not selling and destroying the project before other people could. We should be rewarding the people who keep the project alive. And where is the power in what makes a project grow? It's not in a promise of an idea of a partnership or utilities or any of that. The power is in the community and the people coming into the project in the first place. And so I think a lot of projects are trying to shift people's perspective from to a future idea that's going to make them rich that almost never does, when the actuality is it was their belief in a false idea is where the price movement upwards actually happened on the charts. And the bad actors are taking advantage of that, and everybody else is missing out. So the entire idea is about taking control away from the bad actors and giving it back to the community. By removing the bad actors, the scammers, the rug pullers, we've taken a lot of control out of the situation. This is control that's usually used to abuse the people that are buying into a project, and they deceive them with false promises and they profit off of them. And that's only gotten shorter and shorter, and projects can barely get any growth because people are so quick to try to outsell each other and then move on to the next project. And so not only have we addressed that number one problem of why a project doesn't grow up, but the number two problem is going to be the liquidity pool. The liquidity pool gives power and control to the early buyers on a bigger and bigger scale. The more buys come in, the more power they get to take out of the liquidity pool with that amount of tokens that they put in. That's why the liquidity pool works like a pyramid structure, like a Ponzi structure. The early buyers benefit the most. As more and more buyers come in, then they sell, then the sentiment's gone and you're on to the next project. And so we want to counter the control that's being given to the bad actors in order to allow a project to grow and in order to allow a community to actually get behind a project. Because here's the thing is actually I was thinking about this. Projects have really great communities who are really willing to push different projects. They're willing to put in effort and marketing and telling people about it. They really want it to grow and they're putting in the hard work. But here's the thing most people don't realize. All that work usually only benefits. If it's not the bad actors, it's going to be the whales. Because once the whales tank, no amount of community, takeover, marketing, anything, most of the time is not going to be able to get that project to go up again. And once again, even if it does, it's only going to benefit the people at the top most of the time. And so the only way to address that is to understand how that's happening, and that's through the liquidity pool. It takes in value and it sends out value. It's just a wealth distribution mechanism that does it in a pyramid-like structure. It does it in a way that incentivizes and rewards the death of the project. And so the only way to fix that is to create a secondary wealth distribution mechanism, so that on buys and sells, we're taking a percentage of value that would typically go into the liquidity pool, which is the value that everybody's seeking, and we're preserving it through a stable coin, we have to detach it from the value of the liquidity pool so that if a sell-off happens, that value isn't destroyed with it. Which if you launch a project or you know any project that's doing reflections is a terrible idea because you're still attached to the liquidity pool. Now you're making people have a false sense of getting rewarded with a token that's probably only going to go down in value in the future. But if you preserve it by converting it to a stablecoin or a utility appreciating stablecoin, you've preserved the value at all the different times of the trades, wherever the price is at, whether it was super low, whether it was super high, all the amount of money that's coming in, whenever it hits the certain threshold, it converts it to a stablecoin, it preserves it, and it gives it out in a bigger and bigger manner in the future. We now have rewarded long-term growth of the project. We've incentivized long-term growth of the project. No project has this, and projects can do really well with a taxless token, right? Even with whales and sell pressure, projects can explode. So I imagine that if a project doesn't incentivize the growth of the project and reward the holders, can do well, then I imagine that one that is doing that should be able to do even better. And so, yeah, the biggest point of what I was wanting to say today, and I'm going to open it up to the YouTube comments and to anybody down on the stage who wants to come up and say anything, ask anything, you're definitely welcome to. But the biggest point of the message I'm trying to get across is we are taking control away from the bad actors and giving it back to the community, because the power is in the community. Anybody who's trying to convince you that it's not is wrong. And if we can create a situation where we can actually come together as a community, then it guarantees our success. If we all can come together as a community, and I think what enables us to do that is understanding that anybody who comes into Control Token understands that they're paying a tax to keep the future alive, and that the tax goes to the people that keep the future alive. And that might be you. You might be somebody who buys a bunch of tokens, holds on to them, gets your monthly rewards, gets your 6 months rewards, gets your 12 months rewards, and then you can sell your bag if you want to, or you can buy more. It's up to you. You can sell whenever you want. It's not just the rewards. It's the rewards and the ability to sell whenever you want. It's just that if you get your rewards, then you can sell. And so I think that liquidity pools make it hard to bring a community together, because everybody that you're convincing to get into any project that you're into is kind of your exit liquidity. If they're getting in after you, in order for you to make profit in crypto, you have to buy, and then you need a bunch of people to buy after you, and then you have to sell on them. You also have to sell before everybody else above you does, or around the same value as you does. And so the liquidity pool is like a cutthroat man versus man game where everybody's at odds with each other. The game that they're playing is to outsell on a bunch of people and to sell before other people. And so we're very divided in a liquidity pool. We pretend to be united, and that doesn't mean that we don't have like friends and projects and stuff and we want to do well. But when it really comes down to it, you're going to be selling on a lot of people that you told about the project if you're helping promote it. But by shifting the value from the liquidity pool into the future, we can be united in those rewards, because it's literally just us helping grow the project. The more you have staked, the more of those stablecoin rewards you're going to get. And you're not destroying the project in getting those rewards. Getting those rewards has no negative effect on the project. It only has positive effect, because in order to get those rewards, you have to buy and you have to hold. Anybody who's buying and holding is being rewarded the most. Whoever has the most tokens staked is going to get the most of those rewards. And in that, we're united because we're actually helping the project grow. And if you help the project grow, then obviously that's when it has blows up that everybody's talking about. And I'm saying, I think if we create a project where we can all be united in the future growth of the project, not just in an idea, but in an actual factual reality of value that's everybody's seeking and shifting it into the future, I think that we can create a permanent narrative, a permanent story that can't go down. And that's what I tell people is, like, if you start looking at narrative and everything, the narrative is attached to the liquidity pool in any project, whether it's a meme token or utility token. It's an idea that promises some type of a response that results in people buying, that results in the price going up. And the liquidity pool can go up and down drastically. A sell-off could happen overnight while you're sleeping, right? And your back could be down like a 70, 80, 90%. But with permanent rewards, we have two stories going with Control Token. And no other project's done this. I've never seen another project do this. We have the permanent long-term story, narrative, value, hype, belief that can only grow, that is fueling the short-term story, or the current story that can go up and down the liquidity pool. So we have this double relationship that no other project has. It's usually just the entire goal of the project and story of the project is tied to the value in the liquidity pool. So if the liquidity pool goes down, so does people's belief in whatever that project is promising. But by taking value out of the liquidity pool, preserving it, and giving it out in the future, we're creating a permanent, long-term narrative, and the potential impacts that can have on the psychology of holders that are coming into the project and holders that are staying in the project could be one. And this is the entire purpose of Control Token: is the two goals that allows it to go to this next level, that allows it to stand out from the rest of DeFi. And I honestly think it can, even though we're small, we don't have a lot of people. I don't think we need it. We don't need this false hype. We don't need these fake bot pumps. We don't need a bunch of bad actors who are coming in trying to pump and dump it in order to take advantage of a bunch of people. We want to draw in the best of DeFi, the people who are looking for long-term growth, people who actually want to see something do well. And that's going to be the key component once we launch, is working with the community to say, how far do you guys want to take this? Because when it comes down to it, it's up to me to do my best, but it's up to every one of you, whoever's a part of this, to take this to the next level. It literally will come down to us as a community working together to take the project to whatever heights we want to take it to. And that comes down to understanding what Control Token is, being able to explain it. And I think that might be kind of hard for people to do. So yeah, feel free to message me at any time, but I'm going to go ahead and open it up to the YouTube side of things. And I'm also going to open up to anybody who wants to come up. Definitely raise your hand and I'll allow you to come up right now. If you have any questions about Control Token, or you want to understand it better, or you just have something you're excited about that you want to say, I'll keep an eye out for that. All right, we're going to start with the YouTube side of things, and I'll keep an eye out for anybody raising their hands. TubeYar2 says, control these nuts. Thanks, man. Jake Adams says, hey, bro, let's effing grow. Squid grow. What's the tax on your token? The tax is a 15% buy and a 20% sell. And the point is what we're doing is we're countering the negative impacts of sells on the project. And you kind of need those taxes to be high, but if it's too high, then nobody's going to want to buy in a tax that's like a 50% tax, right, in and out. That would be like, you'd have to have amazing profits and you'd scare people away. So it's kind of like, how high can we go without hurting potential coming in of investors? Now we've seen SafeMoon did a 10 in, 10 out. That's 20% tax. Evergrow did 14 in, 14 out, and did really well. Evergrow did like, I think 400 plus million in volume, maybe more. So it's proven that it can be done, that high taxes can still have massive volume, right? And so the point of what we're doing is, when you compare Control Token, I'll be able to do this at launch once we have the actual price. I'll be able to start putting out some really interesting videos on how many tokens you can get for how much, and how much those rewards will look like if we get so much volume and whatnot. People really like those videos. Is that Control Token has the highest tax that I've ever seen when it comes to rewards. It's only 2% of the tax goes to the treasury for marketing, paying the dev team on the buy and sell. So you have 13% buy. SafeMoon was 5% reflections, and it was like 2.5% of that, and the burn wallet was getting most of that, right? So SafeMoon, compared to SafeMoon, is very low. Now Evergrow had 8%. Going to rewards, which is a lot. But with Control Token on buys, we have 13% going to rewards. So it's quite a lot going to those rewards, and it's for a purpose. On the sells, we have even more. And the sells are 20% sell tax. And so you get 18% of that is going to go towards rewards. And so we're taking a lot. We're going to have, if we do well, we're going to have massive rewards compared to any other project that's ever existed, because the taxes are fueling those rewards so much. And if anything, and I've made these points, I only use SafeMoon and Evergrow because I was so heavily involved in both SafeMoon and Evergrow. SafeMoon as a YouTuber, Evergrow as a YouTuber, but outside of that, I was kind of involved in Evergrow a little bit with the AMAs in the beginning. That SafeMoon gave out the reflections immediately. Immediately, every day, everybody would get their reflections, and it would be given to every single wallet, and it would be in the token that was being devalued. So there's so many downsides to that. Evergrow did amazing, and it would give out its rewards immediately, and it would give it to every wallet, and and the rewards were insane. It was $40 million. But What if instead of giving it to every single wallet, you only give it to the stakers? What does that do to the rewards for the people that are staking? It greatly increases them. It increases them by the amount of people that aren't staked. So say you only have half the people, half your holders staking. Well, now that the staking rewards just got increased by half or by a 2x, which is massive. So that greatly increases rewards by only doing it to stakers. And then beyond that, we're not giving it out immediately, because if you just give it out immediately to everybody, then when the price tanks, whenever that sell-off happens, they get their rewards and they leave. They got their rewards, they got their value out of the liquidity pool, they're on to the next project. Like, thank you, see you later. I destroyed the project, the sentiment's gone, but I got all my value. I won the game of the liquidity pool. Instead of rewarding that behavior that usually destroys the project, we're saying, no, actually the only way to get your rewards is you get it in small measures. You get it every month, every 6 months, and every 12 months. And this is bigger rewards than any other project's ever done when it comes to the amount because of the tax. So it's a lot of value that's being shifted into the future. And so what that does, by delaying that, you actually create long-term incentive to grow the project. I've never seen another project do this, because here's another huge problem with taxless tokens is it's hard to keep volume up because of the tax, right? No one wants to trade it. But if you're taking so much value and you're giving it out in a bigger and bigger measure, then this, in my mind, this is a really good strategy to incentivize consistent long-term growing value over a period of a year. Now, I'm not saying it's guaranteed, but I'm saying we're literally incentivizing that. And so with most tax tokens, they last 3 to 4 months with their volume, and then it's kind of just it kind of dies down. The volume really dies down. But because we're shifting so much value into the future, it has the potential to not only continue to have steady volume that fuels those rewards, but to potentially do it in a growing manner. And there's the same sense with the liquidity pool, with the price. It has the potential, if it follows the trend of the rewards, to happen over a long period of time, which is a year, in a growing manner, which I think is amazing by design. Now, it may not work. I try to always undermine all of this, like, hey, it may not work, but you can see that every aspect of this by design is for the benefit of the holders for long-term growth. Jake Adams real fast says, after the 6 month rewards, are the rewards still going to be monthly after that? Yeah, so the control event, it restarts. Like, the project doesn't die in a year. Technically, here's what could happen. If you buy in the pre-sale and you say, I want the yearly rewards. Well, in order to get the year rewards, you have to stake for a year. You have to commit your tokens to staking for a year. Now, you can unstake them whenever you want, but if you unstake early, then you're going to pay a fee. We're looking at 30%, but we might have to adjust that to just make sure that there's no manipulation going on and to make sure that it's benefiting the future of the project. But right now, we're just looking at 30% tokens. If you pull out early to sell your tokens, you forfeit 30% of your tokens. And so let's just say you do the pre-sale, you hold your tokens, you get all your rewards. You're getting it every month, you're getting your rewards. Plus, you get your rewards on the 6 months. You get all this stablecoin rewards. Plus, on the 12 month, you get the biggest amount of rewards, and you completed your 1 year fulfillment of your agreement to stake for a year. Well, now you can pull out of the staking contract without selling, without any kind of fee, and then you could just sell if you're wanting to take profits. Then you got all your rewards for the entire year, and now you can take profits. So people are saying, okay, what if the project does well, and a lot of people hold, or all the people who get all the rewards at the end of the year, and they fulfilled their staking part agreement, and the prices say high enough that they want to take profits? What if they sell? And I say, that's fine. This project is designed to counter the negative effects of sell-offs. If they sell, then they fuel the rewards and they forfeit the rewards for the next year. If the control event is good, then people will be like, wait, what if this happens again? What if next year's bigger? What if it happens the same? And so a sell-off, say the price tanks a lot at the end of the control event, that is going to be a buying opportunity. And that's just one thing to understand, is the control event could recycle. It could happen again. I'm not saying it's endlessly going to happen and go up forever. I'm just saying it has the potential, if it does well, to happen again. But that's super important to understand. Another aspect of control token is that the design is to counter the negative impacts of sell-offs. And so when a massive sell happens, like any other project, I'm sure we've all seen and experienced these massive sells, there's usually no positive to it. It's just like, oh man, that sucks. I hope people start buying again, is how everybody feels. I hope everybody starts buying. Unless you're super crazy, maxi bullish on something and you see every dip as a buying opportunity, most of the time there's no positive sentiment to at all to sells. They only negatively impact the project. So with control token, let's just say you and me are whales, right? And let's say I sell. And you see that I sold. And now you know, let's just say I sold in the third or fourth month. And you know, oh, he was about to get all his rewards for the 6th month. And he just forfeited all those rewards and he paid the sell tax into those rewards. And so he just put a lot of value in there. And so it actually incentivizes buying the dip, and not just for you, but for anybody who's looking into the project. What this does is it puts a natural demand on the liquidity pool. The long-term rewards put a natural demand on the liquidity pool, because if you anybody could come in and throw $100 and get, say, 1,000 tokens. These are just, hypothetical numbers, and then stake them and then get $200 in rewards. Well, they're probably going to do that, right? And so this puts a demand, no matter what the value or whatever the value is of the permanent future rewards that can't go down, that can only go up in value, that can only go up in the amount that they are until they're distributed. That puts a demand on the liquidity pool. And since the rewards can only go up, and since the value can only go up, it not only puts the demand of what that value is on the liquidity pool, but it puts a potential demand of, like, what if a bunch more volume happens and it goes up even more before it's given out. So that's this. It's all about changing the psychology of what's happening with the liquidity pool to be more long term. And the only way to do that is to actually shift the value. You can't just promise people something, an idea, like, I'm going up to Mark Wahlberg, I'm going to ask him to promote control token. I feel like most projects are just trying to convince people to buy into a project so that the team or the whales can sell on them. Most projects, whatever the narrative is, it only usually benefits either the team or the whales. And so we, by design, we're shifting value into the people who helped keep the project alive in control token. No matter what, you've got these future permanent rewards waiting for you. And so we're shifting a lot of the value that usually is given to the people who destroy the project, and we're giving it to the people who keep it alive. And we're doing it in a way that incentivizes long-term growth of the project. So I'm super excited for it. If nobody has any questions, then I'll probably go ahead and end the space. I am working on a video right now talking about this. We got Joseph Marshall on YouTube says, where can we look for more information on XUSD? Yeah, right now they're relaunching it. So they're turning it from a tax stablecoin, which has a very tiny tax that goes to all the coins that makes the value go up, into a utility stablecoin. And so as soon as he has a website or any information out on it, I'll share it with everybody. What's up, Jeremiah? How's it going, man?
How you doing, crypto? So my question is, you launched the token already?
What did you say? Sorry,
Did you launch the token yet, or I'm not sure when's it getting launched? Unless it already launched.
you say, did I launch it?
Yeah, I came in just a little late.
Oh yeah, so no, we're still in the pre-sale. We're still just waiting for the website, because the website. Here's the thing I didn't like about most projects that I've been in, and I love Squid Grow, Vitreous, and Evergrow. I really like those projects. These aren't a shot at those projects. It's just most projects I've been in outside of those have been a promise that takes forever and doesn't actually end up affecting the charts the way we thought they did. It was just something that was keeping people holding on or buying, and then the people that are leaving are taking advantage of that. So when it comes to, like, promising of utilities and stuff like that, I really don't like that. Now, we do have that problem that we have to get the website up, and it needs to be good, because it is kind of the number one utility, is that people understand that the rewards and the values in the future. And so they need to see that. But as soon as that's done, nobody's being negatively impacted by that. You can either do the pre-sale or not. But as soon as that's done, then we can launch, and we don't have anything that we're waiting for devs to work on that people are hoping and believing in, unless some utility comes along that I think is great and is an addition to this. But to me, this idea has everything that you need, because it's a more realistic approach to what crypto is, because instead of approaching it based off of a promise of people believing in a future idea that's going to make them rich, it's just approaching crypto off of what it really is. Most crypto projects is people believing in an idea, and that idea only lasting as long as the bad actors or the whales allow it to, and then the project's dead. No matter what the utilities are, they usually don't out produce a ton of profit, or partnerships don't produce enough to actually change the charts. So when it comes to launch, I don't have a date. As soon as the website's done and working, then we will announce a date. We'll do the audit, and we'll be able to launch. And then it'll just come from that point on at launch. It'll come down to me working with the community to grow the project in a natural way. I really, and the more I think about it, the more I want to stray away from the traditional crypto. Like, I want to keep, and you guys think about this. If any of you guys are in Control Token, who do you want to be on this project? Because we're building a team right now, and right now we're building kind of the most important part of the team. The foundation of the project is being built right now. The people who usually have control over the project, whether it barely grows or whether it grows into a massive thing. And so right now is kind of an important time to, if you feel like this is a good, trustworthy project, then you get people in on it. Try to get one person. If everybody gets one person between every Sunday that we do these AMAs, then we can start doubling these numbers every AMA, which I'm glad to see you guys show up. We have a little more numbers today than we did the past week. So thanks for showing up, guys. The more you guys, and this is your own bag, you know what I mean? This is your own value. That's why it comes down to the more community mindset we have, the more this will actually do. The more individual mindset we have, the less well it can do. And this whole thing by design is about community growth. And so I recognize that it is communities that grow a project, and I recognize that it's the bad actors that prevent a project from growing. So we kind of want to go about our marketing and our growth in this project in a way that where we keep drawing in a strong community, a strong foundation of people who understand the vision, who understand that this can grow as much as we want it to. And what that involves, just to be frank with you guys, that involves potentially, if you're in this project and we start to do well, you sitting on a lot of money. You know what I mean? That's how a project grows, is a lot of people sit on a lot of money for a long time. It involves people sitting on money for the longer you sit on it, the more it'll grow. It's kind of like that game where, you hit the button, and if you both say we will give it to each other, then you both get half. But if you try to steal it, then you take it from somebody else. We're all kind of playing that game with each other with the liquidity pool. The more we all hold, the more it grows. But if we take some out, then it hurts everybody else. And so the more that we as a community understand that, the more we can, take this potentially to heights that everybody wants to see a project grow. And the good thing about this is, in a traditional taxless project, if you did something like that, everybody after you would be taking a loss, right? But with this project, you can actually know that the people that you're getting into the project are in one that incentivizes long-term growth, so you can feel safer in that, and that it literally rewards long-term growth. Like, if you go and you stake, you're gonna get those rewards, and you'll always have the potential to sell your bag. You can not stake and not get rewards, and you can sell your bag if you want. But it's up to you as an individual to do. So with that, this creates a situation where you can actually feel better about getting people into it. Like, I feel good about getting people into Control Token because I know it's not a rug. I know it's not a scam. I know no one's getting any free tokens. And I know that there's a tax structure to protect the community, because if the tax structure pays into the future, it weeds out bad actors. And so we keep drawing in this like-minded people who think long-term. As long as we have that steady growth, it might take a while. I don't know. I've never done a project before, but I know that this design is designed to grow. As long as we keep going up, eventually our voice, as the price goes up and as the holders grow, our voice keeps getting louder and louder. Our message gets louder and louder. And it's usually when a giant red candle happens that people are like, okay, this project, I'm done with this, right? But we've created a situation where if you come in and you buy and you try to sell real quick, you're going to be at a loss. You come in and you buy and you're already thinking long term. And so we've created this situation for long term growth of the project, even if it's slow and steady. And as it goes slow and steady, it's eventually, the message is going to get louder and louder. And eventually that kind of upward momentum, it always gets exponential until it reaches the point of the selling point of the whales. And so the entire mission of our community at the launch is going to be to grow the project as a community and to see how far can we take a project with this foundation, with these guardrails in place to protect us. And it's going to be as far as the community wants to take it. I think that it can be one of the biggest cryptos. I think it could be one that everybody knows about, where they're like, oh, control token. I'm not BSing you guys. You know what I mean? I was deeply honest about SafeMoon, about Evergrow, about all these things. I've been very realistic about the potentials. I'm being realistic about this one. This one has the potential to not do well, barely get any momentum, and people don't want to buy it. But it also, in my opinion, has realistic potential, not BSing at all, to be a massive crypto, because everybody's looking for something safe to hold on to watch it grow. And I'm saying, hey, I've got that. I know everyone's telling you they've got that right now, but I literally, physically, by design of the contract, have that for you right now. And right now, my voice and Control Token's voice is mixed in with all the scammers out there and all the projects out there. And nobody can hear it. But as long as we slowly and steadily grow, our voice will get louder, and those people will start to hear us, and they'll be able to hear our message and say, actually, that project sounds great. It's all, and the more that the project does what we're saying it'll do, if it does consistently and steadily go up, then the more we prove the narrative that we're telling them, that this is a long-term growth future reward, and that it rewards the people who stay. That's another thing you can feel great about. It's like, okay, if a sell-off does happen and I miss it, I'll at least get the rewards, right? I can at least get those rewards, and then I can take and sell my bag after that if I want. No other project has something structured like this with the control event. So yeah, the main purpose of what I wanted to do today was just explain the control event. Did you have anything else, Jeremy? Or Jeremiah? Is it Jeremy? I'm sorry, it is Jeremy.
Thank you.
Oh, well, thanks for coming up, Jeremy, and I'm glad that you're part of this. We do have a couple more comments on the YouTube side of things, then I'm going to end this space. Thank you so much for everybody showing up on the YouTube side and Twitter side of things. And I said this last time, as long as we do this every week, as long as everybody shows up, I promise you, if we can get a space that has 100 people in it, a ton of people are going to start joining and being like, what is this? And once they hear the idea, I know that as long as you're not a bad actor, you're going to resonate with what I'm saying. You're going to be like, okay, yeah, every project does have bad actors that stop it from growing, and the liquidity pool does only benefit the early buyers, and the narratives usually only benefit the early projects, and they can't grow, and the value only goes to the sellers. And so this is addressing all of the main problems that all of DeFi is happening right now. And so I do feel like, hey guys, just if the least you can do, if you can't promote it or make posts about it or talk to people about it, if you can show up on the AMAs, that one thing could be the thing that takes us to the next level. And that's why I say that I think that this structure, I'm not BSing at all, I think that this structure is such an amazing structure to allow for growth that if you add community involvement on top of it, to me, it seems like a sealed deal. Like, if the community gets involved in this, it's a sealed deal. So real quickly, Tommy Crypto, I'm going to go ahead and bring you up. I'm going to go ahead and read Noak's message on YouTube. He says, won't the control event cause a rush to sell when the buzzer goes off? You would want the highest price. Won't it crush the price? Yeah, so Noak, I kind of hit that a second ago, but I'll hit it again real fast. As people come into the project, in order to get the yearly rewards, in order to get the monthly rewards, you have to commit to staking for a month. In order to get the 6 months rewards, you have to commit to staking for 6 months. In order to get the yearly rewards, you have to commit to staking for a year. If you stake for a year, you'll still get the 6 month and every 1 month. And if you stake for the 6 month, you'll still get the 1 month, but you won't get the year. Now, you can stake at any point. You could stake on the first day, or you could stake on the very last day. People can come in the day before the control event and buy and stake a bunch of tokens and get those rewards if they want to. Did I not get you up, Tommy? So what that means is only the people that will be hitting, I'm hitting approve and it's not working. I'm sorry, Tommy. Hey, Jeremy, can I make you a co-host? And if you can bring Tommy up for me?
Actually, I can. I'm driving on the highway, and I literally missed my exit 5 times.
Okay, well, just be careful. I'm hitting approve and it's not working. Mitch, thanks for the $1 donation on YouTube. So here's the thing. If a sell-off happens after the control event, then that would be massive rewards in fueling those months that are happening. If a massive sell-off is happening, it would be massive rewards for those months that are happening as well. And everybody would know that those sell-offs not only fuel those months that those sell-offs happen, but they also fuel the 6 month and the 12 month in a bigger sense. And those rewards, once again, if the control event could happen again, if the first control event's good, I think it's very likely it'll happen again, because everybody will be like, wow, that was amazing. And so this actually causes people to see, we could talk about that for a while if you wanted to, but that basically addresses it. Were we able to get Tommy up? invite to speak. I sent you an invite, Tommy. Or if you just want to shoot me a message, Tommy, if that's not working, then I can read your message. But I sent you an invite to speak as well. But yeah, the entire point of this project, I mean, there's a lot of points of the project that are really good, but one of the main things that I came in when I was designing this was, how do you counter sell-offs? How do you counter the negative effects of sell-offs? And the only way to do that is to shift value from selling into the holders that are staying. Oh, you can co-host and bring up speakers. Awesome. Zach, I'll go ahead and add you real fast, and then see if you can bring up Tommy. And if anybody else has any questions, then we'll end it. But I guess, yeah, like I said, the biggest part of this is going to come down to the community understanding it, and then the community portraying that vision to bring people on that you trust in this project. You know what I mean? If you feel like this is a good thing, if you feel safe in it, you feel like it's trustworthy, you like the idea, you like the long-term growth, then get people that you want to help you support this project long term. That's how it's going to be. It's going to be about us working as a community to continue to bring in the right people for the project that leads to this growth that we're looking for. Because that's pretty much stage one of the mission that we have. If we can blow up, then the sell-off can only go down so far. It's guaranteed that if we blow up, that as buys and sells are happening, that volume is permanently increasing in the future. Those future stablecoin rewards. So if we blow up, then those future rewards blow up as well. They can't go down, and that ensures that the price literally cannot go below what that value is, and that it's likely to keep growing. So we just have to, our main goal in the beginning is just going to be like, guys, we have to blow up. We have to bring in a ton of good community, like-minded people, and we got to bring in the right kind of people that think long term. As long as we keep growing that type of community, then this project will blow up, and with it, a permanent future will blow up with it as well. What's up, Tommy? How's it going, man?
Hey there, real quick question about marketing. Were you planning a big marketing blitz anytime soon? Or are you waiting for the next big, bull run? That's it.
Yeah, I've been looking at, ideas. I've become friends with Dogecoin Millionaire through Squid Grow, and we have a marketing wallet. And so just to answer your question real simply, is like, if a good marketing opportunity comes up, then like we'll definitely won't turn it down. And I have like a couple YouTubers who did covered SafeMoon that I said, hey, when we launch, can you guys cover this at launch? And they said yes. And you have me, who I can just nonstop make content on stuff. And I developed that skill with SafeMoon. I was one of, the top SafeMoon YouTubers. I knew how to make content that people enjoyed. And so it'd be interesting to watch me be able to like continually make videos for my own project on a daily basis. But the more I think about it, I'm like, well, you have your traditional crypto, and most of it's pretty scammy. Most of the marketing is just like botted accounts. It's paid influencers that, a bunch of, I think, bad actors are following all those types of methods. And so for me personally, this is how I would love for marketing to go. Yes, I'm open to like doing those potential partnerships if I think it's actually genuine and good, or if it's actually somebody in the space that people respect that isn't seen as a scammy pumper. Is to take the marketing wallet and to use it to reward the community for doing the marketing. Like if the community as a whole is like doing most of the marketing just by word of mouth, and it's not necessarily certain individuals that stand out, take the marketing and put it in that month's rewards and say, hey guys, you guys have done such a great job of spreading the message that I don't want to pay anybody, I want to pay you guys. And so these months, that's just going to go to rewards, go to stakers. And so I think that that's the reoccurring idea that we want to keep doing, is we want to use the power, and the power is in the community, to benefit the community. We don't want to use it to benefit ourselves. We don't want to abuse that. So I think the community will find that keeps going back to themselves. And the number one marketing is natural community talking to other people. And so I believe the marketing should go to the community for doing that. If the community is doing that and our marketing wallet is going up, let's put it in the monthly rewards and get back to them. Or if somebody in the community finds a good partnership or gets somebody to look at the project, and that causes a big price action. If somebody makes a video and it goes viral or something like that, then I think that that person should be rewarded for helping the project go through the marketing wallet. Now I can't like promise those things, but you'll just have to see that it's more of a reward of doing it. You can't expect anything, but I think you'll just find that if you go make a video about control token and it gets 5,000 views and our holders jump up hundreds, that you're probably going to be seeing, I'll be asking for your wallet to send you something. Does that answer your question, Tommy, or was there something specific more that you were talking about?
No, outstanding. As a side note, thank you so much for getting me out of SafeMoon while I was, still at least in the black a little bit. I really like this new project of yours, and confident you can ebb and flow, with the needs of the project. And again, I'm all in. Thank you so much.
Awesome, Tommy. I'm glad that you like it, and I'm glad that we're able to have a good impact on SafeMoon. As far as saving people money, I think that's what you find is that the biggest portion of my thinking when it came to SafeMoon was like, we have to look at what bad could happen and what good could happen. This is the only way for me to not have like a negative impact on people that watch these videos that I'm making, is to be real with them, and if something bad's coming, I can't just bury that. I gotta tell them about that. And so, it's that kind of thinking that's going into every decision when it comes to a control token, is what's best for the growth of the community. And, I use SafeMoon as an example because it is such a strong example. Imagine if those swap partners, that the only reason they're getting paid $250,000 or more for the swap partners is because they were able to promote that project to the SafeMoon community. And then the SafeMoon community would usually lose money off of that. And then the insiders and people knew that they were going to get listed would make profits off of them. They're probably pumping and dumping literally their own community while getting paid to do it. I'm like, imagine if John Caroni had taken that at least 250 grand and said, hey guys, we're going to put this in a staking pool for the month and anybody can stake. Can you imagine that he would have demonstrated that he actually cared about the holders? He just never thought about the holders. And that's why he demonstrated that he never thought about the holders. And the impact that could have had on the price with people wanting to buy and stake. Now, I know that 250,000 may not have been a lot, but if he had done $1 million and said, hey, $1 million is going to be given out on a month's time, we're going to have $1 million worth of stablecoin or SafeMoon being given out. I mean, he should have done stablecoin. But that just goes to the point of understanding that if a project like that can do what it did, when literally every founding thought of SafeMoon was, how do we benefit off of the loss of the holders? It was designed as a rug by Kyle. The liquidity was taken. They were lied to about stuff. The swap partners, everything was about benefiting off of the holders. The holders were the product. And it sucks and it's sad that it came down to that. But my thing is, what if you have a project that's the opposite of that? What if everything is about the growth of the holders? What if it's about distributing wealth more fairly? What if it's about utilizing the power of the community and to benefit the community? Take that value and give it back to them. I think you'll find that, I hope that in this world of scammers and pump and dumps and bad ideas and false ideas, that something like this will be able to stand out and kind of set an example of like, hey guys, stop scamming each other and stop making, like, the only way a token is a good idea is if the utility or project is really genuinely like something that's needed, because that's usually only attached to like businesses and stocks. But when you add it to crypto, it just becomes convincing people to buy into an idea and then profiting off of them. So yeah, if nobody else had anything else they want to say, I really want to appreciate everybody for showing up. Denny, it's great to see you. Joseph, Marshall, Isaac, A. Richard, how's it going, man? Jeremy, Gerson, how's it going, man? I went to church today. The Po Boy, how's it going, bro? We'll do this again next week. I'll keep it short and sweet. And if you guys have any ideas, by the way, this is going to be like I said, heavily community driven. If you have ideas, if you have things you want to do, it's mostly going to be like, I'm going to continue to do my part as if no one's helping me. But if everybody took that mindset, then we'll succeed, right? I'm still going to be putting in videos and doing AMAs and reaching out for partnerships. I'm still on the Squid Grow team. I still am going to try to make videos about projects that I think are good. That's another thing I said that I forgot to say is that if we get like 100 people in here, which wouldn't really be hard at all, I'm pretty sure we already have over 100 holders. on every Sunday, projects will want to be in front of they'll be like, oh, they have a bunch of value. They have a bunch of eyes of people who, want to buy projects. And if we could get in that space to talk about our project, that would be amazing. And I'd say, okay, that's awesome. Well, if we only have 100 people, then I could say, 2, 3, 5 grand. Take that, put that into monthly rewards. Or take part of it, give it to the people that are actually showing up in the spaces. So I reach out to you guys and say, hey, I know you've been here for a while. If you shoot me a new wallet, and I'm going to shoot you some of the value that we got today. The rest of it's going to go to rewards. So we want to actually reward the people that are helping keep the project alive. So many people put so much effort into these other projects like Safe Moon and whatever, and they never saw anything for it. They actually saw a lot of backlash for it once they even started to ask any questions. And so I think that once again, you're just going to find that this idea, no matter what opportunities arise or ideas that come our way with Control Token, it's always going to be used for the growth of the project to benefit people in the most fair way possible. There's still got to be losers. We can't make everybody a winner, but you're going to find that we're more fair than all of the rest of DeFi because we're literally shifting value from the sellers to the holders. So I could rant about this forever, and I don't want to do that to you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and end it here. Thanks for showing up, everybody. And I'll be putting out a video within the next couple days. I'm also getting married in a couple weeks and going on a honeymoon. So there might be like a 2-week stunt of growth. I can still jump in a Twitter space or something, but I'll be a little busy for 2 weeks coming up because I'm about to get married and go on a honeymoon. But after that, when I get back, and I also might be doing something for Squid Grow right after that. I might be going to another event for Squid Grow. But after that, I can go full force back into making content and videos and stuff. And hopefully we're launched by then, but it might, depending on how long he takes with the website, it might be around that time that we'll be launching. I don't know. I'll ask him for an ETA today on what the website's looking like. And then I'll put that out in the Discord, and maybe I'll post it on Twitter too, just to give people an idea of when. But thanks for stopping by, everybody, and I'll see you guys in the next space or video. You guys have a good one. All right, YouTube side of things. Are you going to send John Crony the phony some token and tell him to hold until windmills? I should send the Gabe wallet some tokens. That's funny, man. What's up, Steve Beck? How's it going, guys? Thanks for stopping by. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream today. We're doing good, and I think that I really like this project. It's just gonna come down to launch and us working together as a community, and this might be the only project you need to do well, I don't know. Thank you, Mitch Bromwell. I appreciate that, man. All right, you guys, thanks for stopping by. I'll see you guys in the next video. I've got a video that's going to be coming out soon, kind of talking about the same ideas. You guys have a great day.